And I now call upon the Minister for Housing and Local Government, the Honourable Maciu Nalumisa, to make his contribution. The floor is yours.
Honourable Speaker, sir, Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Deputy Prime Ministers, Honourable Cabinet Ministers and Assistant Ministers, Honourable Members of Parliament, general public that are here in the gallery, and also those watching on television and via live stream. Numbulanakwa, and good evening to you all. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is with great privilege and deep appreciation that I address this august House to express my explicit support for the national budget delivered on 30th of June 2023. And I commend Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance, along with his dedicated team, for their unwavering commitment and tireless efforts in formulating a budget. It is a budget that not only insists hope, but also paves the way for a prosperous future for our beloved nation of Fiji. This budget embodies a spirit of unity and collaboration, igniting a renewed sense of purpose among our people. Mr. Speaker, sir, the coalition government is steadfast in its mission to construct a new Fiji, one that prioritizes solidarity and trust, places the people at the heart of its endeavors, and demonstrates prudence in its fiscal framework to maintain a sustainable national debt to GDP ratio. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to remind the other side of the House that this is not a copy and paste budget, a budget that is warmed in the one microwave. I think the former Minister of Economies and the former Attorney General's microwave. This is a smart and a well-crafted budget. We will continue to be innovative, inclusive, and stronger together. Mr. Speaker, sir, rising debt to GDP ratio in Fiji has become a grave concern for our nation's future. It is alarming to witness the ratio spike from 48.8% from 2018 to 2019 to a staggering 88.8% by the end of 2021 to 2022 financial year. While the impact of the pandemic cannot be ignored, it is crucial to acknowledge that there was an underlying issue preceding it. The current state of affairs demands immediate attention and action, and the coalition government is committed to rectifying this situation. This budget reverses 16 years of misrule and false promises, 16 years of poor, unstable, and bad governance, and 16 years of lost hope. This budget goes beyond addressing immediate needs. It lays a groundwork for instilling hope in future generations. Through collaborative efforts and cautious steps, we have embarked on a journey of recovery, taking decisive measures to overcome the crisis faced by various sectors in Fiji. While we have made significant progress, it is vital to acknowledge that our work has just begun. A notable aspect of this budget, Mr. Speaker, is increased allocation of key sectors such as health, education, infrastructure, and agriculture. This exemplifies the coalition government's commitment to enhancing essential services that directly impact the lives of ordinary Fijians. By fostering a healthy, well-educated population and improving access to better roads, water, and coordinated agricultural programs, we will invigorate a more vibrant and prosperous new Fiji. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Tauke Affairs, which has been neglected for 16 years, has received increased funding. This signifies our dedication to ensure that the Tauke Affairs Administration are adequately resourced to address issues such as poverty and resource management effectively. The heart of Fiji, a reality persists that cannot be ignored. It weighs heavily on our collective conscience. It is harsh truth that 24% of our fellow Fijians live in the grip of poverty. Among them, a staggering 75% are Itoke, our resource owners who bear the burden of hardship. This is a reality, Mr. Speaker, sir, and we cannot turn away from, and it's our duty to confront it head-on. By providing targeted support for the Itoke community, we aim to address the deep-rooted issue of poverty. We understand that the key lies in empowering those who own the very resources that hold the potential for economic prosperity. It is imperative that we help them recognize the true value of the resources and guide them towards sustainable avenues of growth and development. Let us rise together, driven by compassion and a burning desire for change. Let us extend a helping hand to those in need, ensuring that the future holds brighter prospects of every Fijian. Through unity and shared determination, we will build a Fiji where poverty becomes a thing of the past and where the Itoke people can reclaim their rightful place of strength and resilience. Mr. Speaker, sir, today we stand together to prove that our promises are not empty rhetoric, but resolute commitments. The responsibility now lies with our government, the coalition government, to continue the vital work of ensuring that every Fijian can enjoy the security of a safe and permanent home to call their home. Mr. Speaker, sir, the shortage of housing in our country is not solely the result of one government's action, but rather a consequence of inadequate measures taken over several decades. To address the pressing issue, the Ministry of Housing has been allocated a substantial sum of $25.7 million in the 2023-2024 national budget. This allocation will enable the Ministry to fulfill its mandate of providing accessible, adequate, and affordable housing to low and middle income earners. The escalating rate of rural to urban migration, compounded by the adverse effects of climate change, necessitates urgent action to tackle housing challenges and formulate policies that cater for the rising demand for affordable housing. Additionally, our focus extends to safeguarding the needs of the vulnerable population within our society. Mr. Speaker, sir, the coalition government will continue to assist the Ministry in development of new housing projects by the Housing Authority and Public Rental Board. As such, more public-private partnerships or PPP initiatives will be promoted for efficient delivery of affordable housing projects. The funding for assisting in the provision of affordable and decent housing will continue as allocated in this budget. More consultation will be done with relevant agencies in the first home ownership scheme to ensure that all Fijians have access to proper and affordable housing. In recognizing the importance of supporting individuals living with disabilities, Mr. Speaker, sir, the budget allocation for assistance in retrofitting their homes has been increased by 50%. The increased allocation will benefit 100 applicants and provide them with necessary accessibility modifications. Furthermore, families affected by accidental fires will continue to receive grants of up to $5,000, enabling them to rebuild their homes and lives. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry has acquired 48 informal settlement development leases since 2015. However, only 3 settlements have near completion of the formalization process. This indicates that the former government did not have the political will to upgrade informal settlements. If they had done so, would have contributed to the alleviation of the rising number of informal settlements today. Mr. Speaker, sir, the formalization of informal settlements program has been allocated a budget of $10 million in the next financial year, with a primary focus of completing capital works in Sakotha, Tavela, Nandi, Tornalutoka, and Field 4 in Lutoka. These capital works will provide 378 households access to affordable infrastructure they need at subsidized cost. Furthermore, 9 settlements will begin capital works, and additionally, preparation works for 9 more settlements are well underway. For the housing sector, Mr. Speaker, sir, the coalition government is serious about upgrading informal settlements in Fiji. The increased budget allocation is a testament of our commitment to those living in informal settlements to be provided with basic services such as roads, water, sanitation, drainage, and electricity. Past government did not do much to upgrade informal settlements because they were more concerned about acquiring development leases, but lacked proper planning to develop the settlements. Hence, some of these development leases have expired without any development work undertaken. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, sir, the coalition government's comprehensive approach encompasses a work plan designed to formalize the remaining 45 informal settlements by considering the needs and priorities of the residents. The holistic approach will significantly enhance their livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry remains committed to refunding deposits paid by individuals to the People's Community Network, or PCN, for housing units at Langi Langi. Regrettably, Mr. Speaker, sir, this project remains incomplete despite the previous government allocation of over $12 million. This showed a lack of commitment and vigor by the previous government, which is definitely not the case for the coalition government. To date, a total of 434 refunds have been made from the initial 336 complainants, amounting to $3.5 million. A budget of $150,000 has been allocated for refund applicants in the coming financial year. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry is actively working on the review of the National Housing Policy, which will provide an updated strategic direction for all stakeholders in the housing sector. This policy aims to standardize the assessment of our housing needs with a specific focus on affordability. This was supposed to be reviewed in 2021. The Ministry will continue its collaboration with housing partners such as Korepita and the Revitalizing Informal Settlements and Environment, or RISE project, with allocation of $1.7 million and $1 million respectively. These collaborative efforts are designed to benefit vulnerable families by providing cyclone-safe homes and improving sanitation and access to safe drinking water. Mr. Speaker, sir, through this budgetary support, the Ministry will continue its crucial role in facilitating the provision of accessible, adequate, and affordable housing, thereby contributing to broader socio-economic development. Mr. Speaker, sir, I now shift to the priority areas for the Ministry of Local Government. Our coalition government not only upholds the principle of freedom of expression and freedom for the Fijian people, but also translates these principles into action. Over the past 6 months, we have empowered the people to actively participate in the governance of their country. We have fostered an environment where people can voice their concerns and demand accountability from their government. Most notably, we have ushered in a new era of democratic participation by involving our citizens in municipal elections. As the Minister responsible for local government, my primary objective is to mobilize my team towards conducting a successful municipal council elections as promised by the coalition government. Our achievements go beyond mere rhetoric, surpassing the previous government's failed promises since 2014. This August House, Honorable Bala mentioned in his speech in Parliament that municipal elections will be held. It is now 2023. Municipals are still waiting. Mr. Speaker, sir, conducting elections after nearly 2 decades is a formidable task. However, the coalition government's unwavering vision and determination has cleared the path to this accomplishment. We did not deal to legislative and regulatory challenges used as dealing tactics by the previous government. Instead, we took decisive action. In the spirit of rebuilding our future together, Mr. Speaker, sir, we actively engaged with residents from all 13 towns and cities, seeking their valuable input on the desired changes in the municipal councils. Our aim is to ensure that these institutions truly serve the people. The people's involvement in the process is vital for their benefit. Mr. Speaker, sir, over the past 18 years, we have witnessed a decline in democracy within municipal councils. Excessive reliance on government grants, undue interference, lack of long-term planning, and vision have become pervasive issues. We are determined to reverse this trend by reducing council dependence on grants and focusing on strengthening their revenue streams for long-term sustainability. We have endorsed an action plan for the elections, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Ministry of Local Government, Office of the Solicitor General, and the Fijian Election Office are working diligently to ensure a free and fair municipal elections. Mr. Speaker, sir, the operation service delivery of the municipal councils to enhance the operations and service delivery of the municipal councils, the Cabinet endorsed the review of the special administrators in January this year. Following the performance review, the Cabinet has approved the expression of interest for new special administrators. These special administrators will be appointed to promote accountability, transparency, and good governance, addressing long-standing issues of service delivery. The Minister has defined job responsibilities and key performance indicators or KPIs to improve the quality of services. As per the Local Government Act of 1972, Section 9A, special administrators may perform the function of the council until the election date is determined by the Electoral Commission. As alluded to earlier, the newly appointed special administrators will play a pivotal role in the transition to elected councils. Mr. Speaker, sir, the lack of council ownership has resulted in unacceptable delays in crucial capital projects, such as the Lautoka City swimming pool. What was meant to benefit the residents of Lautoka has been turned into an international level competition pool through ministerial intervention, leaving it unfinished and disregarding the needs of our own people. The swimming pool is supposed to be completed in 1 year and 9 months from January 2018. From initial cost of $2 million, this has now ballooned to $11.2 million. We are in July 2023, Mr. Speaker, sir, and the project is nowhere complete. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, sir, Goblin Park started in January 2018 for completion by the end of the same year. But the story remains the same. Another failed promise by the previous government. Recognizing the urgency to rectify such issues, our ministry is in damage control mode and has taken decisive action. We are committed to ensuring the timely completion of the Lautoka swimming pool and the Government Park in Ba, making the necessary modifications and allocating the required services the new financial year. In the pursuit of accountability and transparency, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have been allocated budgetary support for dedicated compliance and audit team. This team will diligently monitor capital projects, conduct thorough financial audits of municipal councils, and enforce strict compliance with established KPIs and milestones. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, sir, this team will be the primary point of contact for all customer service inquiries related to Department of Local Government, municipal councils, National Fire Authority, and the Department of Town and Country Planning. By centralizing these inquiries, Mr. Speaker, sir, we aim to streamline processes, eliminate any trace of corruption or favoritism, and enable Town and Country Planning to focus exclusively on processing applications. These measures not only demonstrate our commitment to efficient delivery service, but also underscore our unwavering dedication to fostering a system of governance that prioritizes accountability, transparency, and timely completion of vital projects within our local government systems. Mr. Speaker, sir, our process for doing business, particularly construction permits, have become burdensome and hindering progress over the years. Fiji's standing in terms of ease of doing business, it is at risk of declining further. In line with coalition government's commitment to streamline process and improve ease of doing business, we are actively digitalizing planning process with the Department of Town and Country Planning. Our aim is to eliminate bureaucratic barriers associated with obtaining development permits. As part of the larger government doing business project, we are transitioning from manual systems to digital transformation. By August 31st, 2023, Mr. Speaker, sir, we will pilot these standing operating procedures and process flows in 3 councils, Sabsabu, Suva, and Lautoka. This digital transformation will revolutionize service delivery, reduce application timelines, and enhance transparency and promote stakeholder accountability. Mr. Speaker, sir, the development of new towns is a key focus of our government's proactive approach to urban growth. We aim to create self-sufficient, resilient, and thriving communities while minimizing the need to commit to larger centers for services. In this regard, I'm delighted to share that Namboalu and KS have been earmarked as commercial hubs for trade. However, extensive groundwork is required to provide the necessary infrastructure that supports commercial industrial activities while considering climate change adaptation. These initiatives will create a solid foundation for economic growth and provide opportunities for both local and international business. This program has been allocated $2 million, Mr. Speaker, sir. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, I proudly lend my full support to the 2023-2024 national budget, which reflects the unwavering commitment of the coalition government to address the pressing needs of our people. This budget paves the way for a future where every Fijian can have access to affordable housing and where our towns and cities are better planned. Together, let us march forward with unwavering determination and unity, embracing innovation and strategic planning. By working hand in hand, we can create a Fiji where communities thrive, our towns and cities flourish, and our dreams and aspirations of our people become a reality. I extend my heartfelt gratitude, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity to contribute today, and I assure you, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the coalition government remains steadfast in its mission to build a brighter future for all Fijians. I fully commend and support this budget. Thank you. Mr. Speaker.